This, my good fellows, is one kick-ass machine. I normally see... What's that? Listen to the top end. Super tight, no rattling, brand new top end. What a kick-ass machine. These are not reproductions, guys. These are the original DG exhausts. What a kick-ass machine. I usually say feast your eyes, guys, but what you can't, and you can feast your ears, turn up the volume and listen to this thing when I come ripping by on the road test section. But what you can't see or what you can't smell is the smell. The two-stroke 93 octane VP with the Yamaha lube. It just smells freaking fantastic. What a gorgeous piece. The original color, factory orange, 1975. This one was done up in a period correct cafe setup. It has a cafe style seat with the Superbike bars, the smaller gauges. Take a look at the brake system. It's been all upgraded with a modern master cylinder, new brake lines, new brake pads. The clutch lever is a new adjustable clutch lever with new clutch cable, a carbon fiber ignition. Check this out, carbon fiber ignition key mount with the LED lights worked into there. Low Superbike bars. It's got a new paint job on it. The seat is new. The front tire is brand new. It's a Michelin front tire. Just a kick-ass piece. The motor, which is really the heart of this beast, has the original Mikuni carbs, been completely rebuilt with the K&N style high-flow air filters to match the DG exhaust with the oversized jet, so it'll really just run beautifully. New piston, new rings, new base gasket, new head gasket, new spark plugs. The tank's been repainted on the outside, new graphics, as has the oil tank and side cover. The original rear tail light and fender is in good condition. The original front fender is in good condition. We've restored quite a few of these over the years, and plan on a year of nights and weekends to do what we did to this, to find all the parts and put it together. First of all, to even find a 75 RD, they're becoming extremely rare. This one's ready to go. It is a beautiful piece. The DG exhaust has been refinished and repainted. The engine's been repainted. The frame's been touch-up painted. It's been steam cleaned. Everywhere on the bike, even the back of the sprockets are clean. Brand new chain and sprocket. The brakes are all new. You can see the rear brake pads haven't even been adjusted past the first rung on the adjuster. Everything's fresh on this bike. Rear tires in good condition. The shocks are, the springs have been painted orange to match the paint job. Has original chain guide on it. Original pegs, kickstand, engine cases. Everything's beautiful on this. Brand new fuel petcock, brand new fuel lines. The petcock has it's a new petcock with a new in petcock filter, so it doesn't have the in filter lines. Has the free flow hoses. Kick-ass machine, man, and it speaks for itself. 6-speed transmission, absolute ripper. These are world-renowned road racing machines. They used to kick ass at Daytona with these, at the Daytona road races. Look underneath the seat. You can see super clean, new battery. All the wiring's in good condition. The battery seat pan's brand new. It's got the beautiful hinges and the battery. The seat latch is in new, refinished, repainted. Just a beautiful piece. Junior, you want to add any words of wisdom?
Yeah, definitely. To fully experience really any naturally aspirated engine, you had to open up the intake and the exhaust, and the filters on this with the DG chambers. This is the full RD experience right here, boys.
You know it's about to get serious when I put on the full face helmet, so.
Got that throaty sound down bottom, and it really just sounds wicked up top.
Good luck finding a nicer 50-year-old two-stroke than this. Seriously, 2025, this thing will be 50 years old, and most of them got destroyed road racing or by hyperactive youth. To find one like this that's thoroughly sorted out and ready to roll with a new motor in it, good luck. These DG pipes are magic. Mikuni carbs jetted perfectly. What a kick-ass machine. Holy shit. Talk about better than coffee in the morning. Listen to this thing. She's right as rain and tight as a tiger. Now, I'm standing next to what I would call two-stroke royalty here. This is a guy who won the RZ Cup for Yamaha at Daytona, and multi-time Isle of Man rider Billy Blythe, who's cut a few hot laps around the track on the RD350s and RZs. Give me a couple thoughts about this kick-ass machine.
Well, like you're saying, this thing is right as rain. You know, you could hear the sound of the pistons coming before the pipes if it's not right. This thing is quiet as a mouse, which is great. You know, in my day, this is my first street bike that I got when I was 17 years old, not this very one, but I bought it at a Yamaha dealership, and a great deal. Beautiful motorcycle. It was totally reliable. You could go on long runs, short runs, handles like a dream. You know, you put sticky tires on it, and literally I did this very thing. I put sticky tires on one of mine and took it out and got my junior plates on it, road racing in New England, which was no easy task back in those days. There were a lot of riders that wanted yellow plates, and I got them with one of these. This is an RD350, and from what I understand, RD stands for race derived, and rightly so. The crankcases on these bikes come directly or indirectly from the TZ models, the earlier air-cooled road racers that were world-class. They're world beaters, actually. They were world champions many years using those very crankcases and similar cylinders. So Yamaha took all their race technology and put it into their street bikes, and here it is, right in front of you. 1975's greatest street bike, in my opinion, is the RD350. Nothing like it. And they only had a couple of years of the RD350, but it was highly successful. One of the things that made it a success was the reed valve induction right here. That made the bike more reliable, started better, performed better. It wouldn't load up. It was a lot more reliable as a two-stroke. It would just basically shut off the intake from any additional surplus fuel that might drain into the cylinder. So that was their great idea, and it worked perfectly, and it lasted long. And this bike is a proper period upgrade with the DG expansion chambers and built-in silencers. Those pipes were used on road racers back in the day. The club racers would use DG pipes, and others along the way. But this bike has a drum rear brake, and don't let it fool you. That is a real rear brake that works properly. You don't need a lot of a brake on a four-stroke, but on a two-stroke, you need brakes on the back because you don't have engine braking. That is a beautiful rear drum brake, fully developed. I believe this is the last year Yamaha used the drum brake on the back on the RD series. So yeah, and looking at this bike, it's a time capsule, really. It's got some upgrades on it, like the seat and the handlebars, the gauges, but it, for the most part, is a bone stock RD350 with a few minor mods, but I would call them period correct updates. I just love this motorcycle. It's fantastic. And watching Ken ride it up the driveway with one wheel on the ground.
Power wheelie too.
Yeah, power wheelie.
Involved.
Yeah, right. You just roll the throttle back and the front wheels paw in the air in more than one gear, actually. So, you know, that's a testament. Ken's no lightweight as far as tipping the scales, and this motorcycle just gets up and goes. It doesn't matter who's riding it. So I'll give the mic back to Ken now.
Thank you, Billy. And like you, I started with a 1975 RD350, same bike as this, when I was 15 years old, and that's why there's not many left. I had a rack on the back of mine. Pardon the expression, but we call them gay racks now, and we take them and throw them off as soon as we see them. It was one of those luggage racks with a and the reason I had a luggage rack on there is I use it for transportation. And I remember one of my friends and we got a case of beer, and he sat backwards, holding on the bike like this. To this day, he'll bring it up. He was sitting this way with the backrest right here, and I was riding 3-gear wheelies down the road while he's holding on to the case of beer. Can you imagine being on the back of the bike with your face almost touching the tar? So I'm sure his mom wouldn't approve, but we were minors. We raised hell on that thing, and pretty much all of us did back then. We road raced them. We rode them off road. We took it to the sand pits and had parties. But to find a survivor like this, I don't want you to underestimate, if you're going to buy one, the cost and effort that is put into this. I've got one work order here, and there's multiple work orders in this bike, but here's one with 29 hours labor between the detail shop and the service department. And I can tell you this bottom line work order is $2,945. That does not include the paint job on the tank. It doesn't include everything from here on up, which is close to $500 between the handlebars, all the new the master cylinder, the brake, all the cables, the gauges, the carbon fiber ignition mount. It doesn't include the custom cafe saddle. It doesn't include the DG pipes, and it doesn't include the air filters or the rebuilt motor. So the bottom line is there's damn near close to $6,000 of restoration parts and labor that's been put into it, between the new front tire, the paint job, the seat, the rebuilding of the motor, all the detailing work, repainting and touching up the frame and the swing arm and the engine cases, the cylinders, the head. Everything's been touched on this bike. It's ready to go, and it's tuned to perfection by Jeff Castine. If you watch our XR650 video, you'll know he's one of the best mechanics. Our build series, this guy's a guy who can do 4-angle valve jobs. He can work on 2 strokes with his eyes closed. So fantastic piece, an absolute joy to ride it. Whoever gets this bike's getting a kick-ass classic, like Billy said, can be used as daily transportation, or take it to the line at an AHRMA race. It's ready to race right up, lift up the kickstand and go.
Right, exactly. That's when I picked my first street bikes. It was based on what the racers, club racers' bike of choice was. And in those days, in the late 70s, early 80s, the RD350 was the club racer's bike of choice. And, for all the good reasons. Handles beautifully. I mean, those step bars under the foot pegs there stick out a little bit. And if you're not hanging off, you're going to be dragging those. That's how good these bikes handle. They hold the road beautifully. They stop fantastically. And they're reliable as heck, I would say.
And parts are available if you ever do want to upgrade or rebuild the motor. Lots of components, big bore cylinders, anything you want to do. This needs nothing. It's ready to go. All the work's been done. Get on and ride this classic off into the sunset. If you have half as much fun as Billy and I did when I was 15 and he was 16 and he had his, you're going to have a blast. They're investment quality classics. The 2-strokes are highly sought after, and this one's set up, like what Billy said, all the period correct mods, the seat, the bars, the pipes, the intake. It's ready to go, man. We also have one, if you want to roll your own, we have one that needs a complete restoration that's going up for auction this week too. That doesn't run, unfortunately. It's been sitting for 3 decades, so you'll have to do everything we did on this one. It's been averaging about a year for us to restore one of these RDs, to take them in and do everything I said, because you got to order parts, you got to wait for parts to get in. It takes and it's done in phases. This one's done. You don't have to wait every year. Just write a check. Christmas is coming. We're only 8 weeks from Christmas. If you've been good all year, buy yourself the gift that keeps giving. Junior, you want to add anything about it, or?
That's it, man. Good luck bidding, boys.
If you have any questions, call us, 860-454-7024. Obviously, kick-ass machine. God bless America.